Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today I'd like to talk about a couple of manufacturers that decided to disable products that customers purchased after they purchased them because they did not purchase them the right way. Further, we'd like to talk about how these companies not only decided to disable these phones from being able to make phone calls, they also disabled customers from being able to access their data on the phone, effectively holding their data hostage until they purchased a new one at their retail store and utilized their own special proprietary software to get the data off of it. The worst offender here is Samsung. Several companies took part in this, and I'm going to show you what was going on here. I'd like to thank Juan. I'm going to include his contact information and his publication down below because he has done so much research in order to get this story out to everybody. This is something that's been affecting a lot of people who purchase phones via AliExpress in Mexico. Many people in Mexico may not buy a phone from the official store because a lot of people in Mexico don't necessarily have the income standards that we do in America. They don't have the privilege of being able to just walk into an Apple store or a Samsung store and with their middle-class job plop down enough money to buy the latest gadget. So they will often buy phones that are not stolen. They don't have stolen IMEIs. They're simply gray market phones that were supposed to be for another region, but just so happen to work fine in Mexico. And many of these phones are displaying messages like this. This has been put through Translate, so it may be a little babelfish here. Over here it says your device will be disabled in 1 day for not complying with regulations in Mexico. Buy Motorola approved devices for operation in Mexico. And you've got this warranty stuff over here. Only one Motorola device which complies with the regulations in Mexico works with the bands and frequencies of the country, which is obviously untrue because there are people had this device and it was working fine until they decided that they were going to disable it. And then you have other brands that decided to jump in and do the same thing. Your device may not be the official one for your region. It's recommended that you contact your dealer for further assistance. This over here, your device may not be the official one. Again, here they're not actually disabling it, which I think is a good thing. There are some manufacturers like Xiaomi that did not disable the devices for their users, which seems to be a much friendlier way to approach it. They did send messages to their users saying, hey, this may not work right in the region, but they didn't go out of their way to disable it the way Motorola did. Samsung was the worst offender. They sent out notices saying your device does not comply with Mexican regulations, so it will be disabled as of October 11th, 2023. This Samsung device does not comply with Mexican regulations, so it has been disabled. Now, you would think that since the device is not following regulations, supposedly, for cell phone calls, they would only be disabled for cell phone calls. No, they disabled people's abilities to open their applications and get access to their information. If the device is too dangerous, then why not force it to turn off? If the device is too dangerous to connect to a cell phone network, then why not just put it in airplane mode and allow people to get access to their data? Either it's too dangerous to be on the network, but it's fine to turn on, in which case you can just permanently put it in airplane mode, or it's too dangerous to be turned on at all, in which case you should force the device to turn off and brick itself completely. That doesn't seem to be the case here because you're allowing the device to turn on, you're just not allowing the user access to their data, which kind of seems like Samsung's trying to hold the user hostage for their personal information, which frankly doesn't surprise me. This company this year has astroturfed Reddit and tried to destroy the entire repair industry based on a patent that is 20 years old for a pixel pattern to an AMOLED. This is not a pro-consumer company. This is a company that believes after you purchase their product from a legitimate vendor that you should not be allowed to use it, that they have the ability to reach into that device and turn everything on that device off unless you pay them more money. It continues here. You can just see more screenshots of this. Now, I know my audience well enough to know what I'm going to see in the comments. I understand what kind of contrarian pushback there's going to be. If this phone is gray market, maybe it doesn't follow government regulations. Maybe the government is telling them that they need to shut all these phones down, that they need to disable them in this way to keep customers from getting access to their data. Hold those customers hostage, put your forearm to their throat so that they buy the proper phone. Funny how this worked out. Not only was the government not asking these companies to do this, they actually punished the companies that did this. On October 19th, Profeco and the IFT issued a suspension against all manufacturers who disabled those mobile devices because they unilaterally violated consumer rights by blocking imported phones. This suspension was effective immediately and had to be complied with as soon as possible by the different vendors, especially Motorola and Samsung, because Motorola and Samsung were the ones that were not just sending out messages, but actively disabling the phone, and in the case of Samsung, not even allowing you access to your data or your applications. The press release from those government agencies urged them to follow a common path to fight the gray market without falling on more anti-consumer behavior. It's important to note that both Profeco and the IFT launched their own social media campaigns to raise awareness of the gray market of mobile devices, but they didn't comment on the specific measures that those companies were planning until now. Samsung, Oppo, and Motorola had to stop all their procedures, and they posted their statements through social media and press, willing to cooperate with the Mexican government to find a common solution. Not only was the government not requiring the manufacturers to disable these phones, They were outright saying, this is not how you do this. This is not how you're going to do business in our country. Stop this immediately. Would you want to buy a phone from a company that actively disables your ability to access your information simply because they want to? The simple fact that they have the ability, based on IMEI, to reach into your device and stop you from being able to access your applications is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard, and is one of the best arguments that there could possibly be to run something like Graphene OS or Lineage OS or Calyx OS or anything else on your phone other than the garbage stock ROM that they give you. If you purchase a device in 2023 that is a locked bootloader that you cannot unlock and then relock to install an operating system of your choice on, you are essentially giving the manufacturer carte blanche to reach into your device and fuck you anytime that they see fit. And if you're okay with this simply because it was a gray market, something tells me you're not going to be okay when they do it for a different reason. Because if there's anything we've gone over on this channel many times, when a company has the ability to reach into your device and take out features or functionality because they want more money, they do it. The best part of this are the reasons they gave. Oh my, did they give some good reasons. The device is approved for correct charging and use with existing voltages in Mexico in such a way that the operation of the battery is not put at risk. How is this a problem? Samsung doesn't even include a charger with the phone anymore. You can't have it both ways. You include a USB-C cable. USB-C is a universal standard. I could be in the United States, I could be in North Korea, I could be in Antarctica, I could be on the moon. USB-C is going to work the same way. We're not even talking about you're selling the device with a 110 volt charger in the box and that country has a 220 volt AC. You don't even include a charger with the device. Not only is the lithium-ion battery inside these devices the exact same voltage for every region of the world, but they outright say on their website, don't listen to me, they do not include a charger in the box anymore. Why isn't Samsung including earphones and a charger plug in the box? Samsung smartphones come with a USB Type-C data cable, but they do not come with earphones or a charger plug because we want to minimize the impact their products have in the environment, which is why we are going to claim that the charger and the charging voltage is the reason that we have to brick your phone, get rid of your access to your data so that you could buy another one, because we care about e-waste. We care so much about our impact on the environment that we are going to reach into your device and fucking disable it unless you give us more money. The gall of these people, the balls to think that people are actually going to let you get away with this. And the sad part is, they probably will. Not the people that watch this channel, but the rest of the world probably will. And that makes me sad. This is the extent to which these people are willing to shit test you to see what they can get away with when claiming that what they are doing is for your safety and for your security when it's not. Again, if the device is so dangerous, disable it from turning on. Of course you're not going to do that, because if you do that, you're not going to be able to have that little message show up that scares them into giving you more money. This is disgusting. You use the exact same voltage battery in Mexico as you do in America, as you do in England, as you do in Russia, as you do in China. The battery inside the device, the lithium-ion battery, is the same voltage. And again, you're actually bringing up the correct charging use when you don't even include a charger in the box with your phones anymore, which, by the way, was something you used to make fun of Apple for until you started doing it yourself. What a piece of shit company. Again, it's difficult to do these videos now because people are going to ask in the comments, which company isn't a piece of shit anymore? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't tell you which companies you should be happy to buy from, but I can tell you which company you should be ashamed to buy from, and Samsung is one of them. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll include a list of sources as well as some contact information for the journalist that was responsible for digging all of this good stuff up. Thank you very much, Juan, for really being a part of this conversation. And again, if people like this were not pushing as hard as they were, who knows? Maybe the Mexican government wouldn't have pushed back on Samsung, Motorola, and every other manufacturer that did this. Maybe people wouldn't be getting their data back. Maybe they would still be held hostage today. So thank you very much for your work. And Samsung, if you're watching this video, fuck you. And I wonder why this channel doesn't have sponsors after 11 years on YouTube. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something.